4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we appreciate you tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by Vince Stover. He's a local pastor here in Richmond who does the Sports Stove podcast, which focuses on EKU sports. Me and him hang out quite a bit at the EKU basketball games together. He's a good guy, so he's going to be here to tell us a little bit about his podcast, and also coaches with the Wellspring Guardians here in Richmond as well with the basketball team there. So we look forward to talking to him. But coming up first is what we always start the show with, a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports. And I got a bunch of stuff to get to here, so we'll try to go through this pretty quick so we don't take up your whole evening. But we're going to start off with Madison Central has a new girls basketball coach. And if you've been around the 11th region at all the past few years, you know who Scott True is. He's definitely a proven winner who's been at a lot of different 11th region schools. He was an assistant at LCA, head coach at Lexington Catholic, and of course for the past 4 years he's been an assistant coach at Franklin County, where the Lady Flyers have won 4 straight 11th region titles. Before all that, he was also the head coach at GRC for 11 years. He won the 10th region title over there and got the Lady Cardinals all the way to the semifinals of the state tournament as well. So on Friday afternoon, we had the press conference to announce Scott True as the new head coach. We got 2 clips for you. The first one is Madison Central principal Brandon Fritz talking about Scott True, and then we'll have Coach True after that talking about taking over as the new head coach at Madison Central.
Coach True, he's been around, coaching for many years, but he also has a lot of experience in the 11th region. I think that's important. He took Clark County to the state tournament. He's been at Franklin County the last 3 years. Also spent some time at Lexington County. But we're very excited to have him today. We're excited what he can do for our program, how he can influence our girls. We're just excited for a good, solid person to come in and take over our program. And we look forward to everything that he's going to do. So without any further ado, Coach Scott True.
It's really neat for me. It's been a journey over the last couple of weeks getting to this moment, and I found myself getting more and more excited as we got closer to this. And then once I got over today, I told the girls today, and some of them were following me on Twitter and whatnot, and I was like, can we just go now? I just want to get there. So really excited to get going, excited to be in the gym with them, excited to get to know them and what they're about and what we can do here. It's very tough region, we know that. I've been an assistant coach the last 3 years with 3-time defending champions, and so I know what it takes, and I know competition level. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't think that this was the right place for me and my family. And I know my wife is here today, and she's super excited to be here with me as well. The girls got to be here today, which is a lot of fun. So I promised them that we could form not have her, because I'm not doing that, they want that. So we'll do some of that. We'll get started here pretty quickly. We're going to work hard. We're going to have some fun. We're going to play this summer. And then everybody talks about style of playing, what's going on. And I've made a commitment. I'm going to find out about them for myself and what they're about, what they can do. But we're going to play fast. We're going to defend. Man's been a staple of mine for 30 years. I've been doing this. So we'll play a lot of that. We'll play a lot of matchup zone. We're going to down the floor, get these ladies in space so they can score and have some success. I'm just very thankful for the opportunity to thank Mr. Chris and Mr. Trixie and for the opportunity. I know what it means. I know how important it is. And my goal is to help them be successful. I want them to be successful in basketball, more importantly, successful in life. And I hope they learn things through basketball that 5-10 years from now helps them be successful whatever they choose to do once the ball's on the way.
All right, we got a chance to talk to Scott True a little bit just after the ceremony there. Seems like a really nice guy, and really looking forward to working with him and seeing what he can do with the Madison Central girls basketball program moving forward. In other news, we had a couple of signings over at Model Lab School this week. On Wednesday, it was senior Aniston Bray signing to play softball at Western Kentucky University, and then on Thursday it was Anthony Nasrallah signing to swim at Bellarmine. We'll start off with Aniston, who they call Boo Bray. She's been the leadoff hitter for the Model Lady Patriots there for 5 or 6 years, a career batting average way above 500. Also plays soccer and cheers. But here's what she had to say after her signing ceremony on Wednesday.
I want to thank everyone here for their continuous support, which has allowed me to get to this point in my academic and athletic career. Countless hours of practice, games, tournaments, and traveling, and more have allowed me to get to this spot, which would not have been possible without the dedication from my family. I can't even count the number of car rides back from games that have pushed me to work hard enough to be able to compete at a collegiate level, even if the car rides did make me cry. On my path to reach this point, I have learned hard work, patience, determination, along with many other things that will continue to be an asset in my life, even outside of the softball world. Western Kentucky already feels like home to me, and it did from the minute I stepped on campus. The coaching staff has welcomed me with open arms, and I cannot wait to continue my softball journey learning from them. All of my coaches over the years, no matter the sport, have taught me the importance of hard work and believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself sometimes. So I want to express my gratitude to them as well, because they are a huge part of my journey. My teammates who have encouraged me to keep working hard and kept me laughing the whole time have played a large role in my softball career as well, and I would not be here without them today. I owe thanks to my friends who have always shown me the positive side of things and never doubted me for a minute. My travel team organization, Fury Platinum, has given me all the tools to reach this point and has advocated for me throughout the entire process. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude for my family that has taken me all over the country and spent an endless amount of money allowing me to play this sport. And shout out to Corbin, who has been dragged along everywhere, whether he wanted to or not. My dad, who is also my coach, which I'm still unsure if that's a good thing or not, has spent so many hours at practices and tournaments and traveling, and I absolutely would not have been able to achieve playing at the next level without him. There are so many more people I could go on and express my thanks to, because everyone has played a large role in allowing me to get here. But I will stop there, hoping everyone knows the importance of my softball journey. Thank you to everyone for being here and supporting me, and I cannot wait to be on the hill. Go Talks!
And on Thursday, it was Tony Nasrallah's time in the spotlight. 6 years on the swim team there at Model. This past year at the regional, 3 region titles and 1 runner-up finish. Won 2 relay region championships, and also won the 200 free individual championship as well. Comes from a swimming family. His mom was a swimmer, his older sister and his younger sister both swimmers. So here's what Tony had to say after his signing ceremony.
Start off by thanking everyone that is here today. It means a lot that you all came out here to support me, and thank you all for coming out here. It's hard for me to believe that I'm actually here right now and that I've actually made it to this point in my life. I've had the goal to swim in college for a while now, but I never really knew if it was possible for me to make it this far. So I'd like to thank everyone that helped me achieve this goal. So to first start off, I'd like to thank my mom, who is my biggest fan and supporter. You never lost faith in me, and you have continued to support me throughout everything we've been through. And you continue to support me even when I had lost hope. Next, I'd like to thank my personal entourage, aka my family. You guys drop everything to try and be at my swim meets, and it just means a lot to know that whenever I'm down or whenever I'm going through anything, I'll always have at least one of you to talk to. And next year it's going to be hard not knowing that my whole family is going to be running one of my swim meets, but I know you guys are going to try to make it to everyone that you can, and I really appreciate that. Next, I'd like to thank my teammates who push me to do my best every day and go beyond, even when I don't think I can go on anymore. Without you guys pushing me at practice, or joking around with me during warm-up, I wouldn't have the love and appreciation for swimming that I do today. Next, I'd like to thank my friends. You help me feel better whenever I'm feeling down, and you're always there for me outside of the pool whenever I need somebody to talk to, or whenever I just need somebody to hang out with, you guys are always there for me. It's going to be really different without you guys next year, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, and I know we're going to see each other during breaks, so.
We appreciate both those fine young people for having us out to their signing ceremonies, and we appreciate Model Laboratory for inviting us as well. EKU men's basketball news. EKU currently has the 66th rated recruiting class in the country, with the addition of their first ever 4-star recruit, Leyland Walker, out of Indianapolis, and also Turner Buttrey, the Kentucky's Mr. Basketball. But some more big news this week. Florida Atlantic center Darbin Caputi, a 6'10" senior from Kosovo, came out of the transfer portal and is headed to EKU, giving them some much-needed size. And can't say this. Can't give everything away yet, but there will be a big announcement tomorrow as to another person coming out of the transfer portal coming to EKU. It'll be big news. Can't tell you who, but I think a lot of people know who it is. But it's going to be really fun and really exciting for the program and the community here in Richmond. So, but we'll have to keep quiet on that until tomorrow. Moving on to high school baseball news, and the Madison Central baseball team just keeps on rolling. They did have a couple of cancellations this week because of weather and other things, but they did play 3 games, picked up 3 wins to push their winning streak to 6 games. They are now 15-4 on the season. Tuesday, in their first home game of the year, it was a 7-2 win over Dunbar. Then on Friday up in Northern Kentucky, a 6-1 win over Campbell County. And then on Saturday afternoon in Richmond, it was a 9-2 victory over Garrett County at home. The Dunbar game on Tuesday was very interesting because Central had lost to Dunbar last year up in Lexington on a walk-off extra inning game, and the Indians were certainly ready for the rematch. It was Bradley Pointer starting on the mound, going 5 2/3 innings, allowing 8 hits, 2 runs, and 8 strikeouts. He was also 3 for 3 at the plate, a pair of doubles, and had 3 RBIs, and it was Matt Johns who came on to get the final 4 outs to preserve the win for Madison Central. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to both Bradley Pointer and Matt Johns.
In Madison Central High School, where the Indians have picked up a 7-2 win over Dunbar. Matt Johns, Bradley Pointer. You guys, the first home game of the season. Kind of under, obviously, weird circumstances out here, but how'd it feel to finally have a home game here at Don Richardson Field?
Felt good. Like, we've been practicing here, and we knew it was getting close. And then they finally threw the roofs on while we were at spring break, and we just knew it was about time, and we finally got one.
Yeah, it feels great. It's just a different feeling being at home, especially after all those road games.
Just get home a little bit earlier.
It feels great.
Well, Bradley, you hadn't pitched since down in Florida a couple of weeks. You come out and strike out the side in the very first inning there on 10 pitches, and it's a pretty good way to start things off, I guess.
I mean, they gave us a very, very hard-fought loss last year. It was very bitter, so coming this game was a little more into it, I would say.
Yeah, that was a walk-off loss up there in Lexington last year, right?
Yep. Like 10 innings.
Yeah, well, you guys, Bradley not only getting the 5+ innings and earning the win, you had 3 hits out there too. So pretty good night at the plate too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't get to hit last year, but it's a blast getting to hit this year.
Yeah, and Matt, you came on there in a little bit of a tough situation, but 1, 2, 3, you punched out the guy there in the bottom of the top of the 6th and got out of the jam.
Yeah, I'm used to it by now. I've just thrown in sticky situations, and they just expect me to get out, and that's what I do.
Yeah, and not giving up a run yet. You were just with that 17 consecutive innings without a run.
Yeah, I told Dove that's his record. Right, that 17 is what he has, and I'm right there at it. I told him I was going to beat him, so it feels so good to be right there with him.
All right, well, congratulations, guys. Finally good to see you back here at home.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
In the victory on Friday night over Campbell County, it was Keith Stewart 3 for 4, Matt Johns 2 for 4, and Drew Hess 2 for 3. And then on Saturday over here at Don Richardson Field, it was Keith Stewart with his team-leading 3rd home run of the season. Gunnar Rodas was 2 for 3, and Eli Metcalf had a pair of RBIs. Central will be back in action Monday night over at Berea College, where they're taking on Estill County. Madison's Southern baseball team, 3 games last week. Weren't able to come up with a win in any of those, but on Tuesday it was a 9-0 loss at Bourbon County. Friday a 10-9 loss in their home opener to Clay County, and then on Saturday a 14-4 loss to Boyle County in Danville. In the loss to Bourbon County, the Eagles had just 4 hits, and then against Clay County, Madison Southern scored 3 times in the bottom of the 7th inning and had the tying run on base, but could not push it home and came up a little bit short there. Zach Hudson was 2 for 4 with a triple, an RBI, and scored a run. And Caleb Cobb was 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and also drew a walk. In the loss to Boyle County on Saturday, it was Corey Causey with a home run and 2 RBIs, and Zach Hudson was 1 for 1 with 2 walks, run scored, and an RBI. 6-11 on the season for the Eagles, 5 straight losses. They'll be back at home Monday night against Garrett County. Busy week for the model baseball team. Had 4 games. Tuesday an 11-9 loss at home to Bluegrass United. And then on Wednesday it was a 16-1 loss at Harrison County. On Friday a 7-4 win at home over Frankfort Christian. And then on Saturday it was a 10-0 loss at Bourbon County. We'll go to the win over Frankfort Christian. It was Becker Parker Noblet, 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored. And Jackson Brown, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and he also picked up the complete game victory and had 13 strikeouts. Both of Model's wins this season have come against Frankfort Christian. Model's now 2-13 on the season. They'll be back at home Monday against 44th District rival Berea. And speaking of Berea community, their baseball team played just 2 games last week, a doubleheader on Saturday over at Wolfe County, and picked up a 4-2 win in the first game before suffering a 10-9 walk-off loss in the second game. In the opening game of that doubleheader, it was Cam Thompson 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and scored a run, and Ty Thompson 1 for 2 with a walk and scored twice. And in the second game, it was Zach Himes with a double, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And like we just said, they'll be back in action Monday night at Model. High school softball, and the Madison Central Lady Indians are just killing it. 11 straight wins, 13-1 on the season. Only 2 games this week. They both happened Saturday in an event over in Winchester. A 3-1 win over Cooper and an 11-4 win over Fleming County. They actually were scheduled to play a third game, and actually that game was got started on Saturday evening against GRC over in Winchester, but there was an unfortunate incident where a GRC player got hurt pretty badly, so they decided to call the game a no contest and reschedule it for later. But in the win over Cooper, it was Michaela Morin 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Cassidy Hack with a double, an RBI, and scored a run. And Olivia Metcalf had a double. And then in the win over Fleming County, it was Jasmine Kaler, 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, an RBI, and scored a run. Cassidy Hack had 2 RBIs and scored a run. Hannah Eisen had 2 RBIs, and Olivia Metcalf had 3 RBIs and a double. Central will be back in action Tuesday at Estill County. Madison Southern softball team still continuing to struggle a little bit. 4 games last week. We're not able to come up with a win in any of those. On Wednesday, it was a 17-2 loss at Wolfe County, and they were at the Capital City Classic on Saturday, where they lost to Anderson County 5-1, Oldham County 11-3, and Holy Cross 15-9. In the loss to Anderson County, it was Caitlin Bolin with a double and an RBI. In the loss to Oldham County, it was Ashlyn Estep 1 for 3 with a run scored. And in the loss to Holy Cross, it was Crystal Cook with her first home run of the season. She was 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Lady Eagles are 1-13 on the season, 13 straight losses. They'll try to snap that streak on Tuesday against Scott County up in Georgetown. The model softball team, a couple games last week. On Tuesday, a 16-5 loss at home to Powell County, but then bounced back on Thursday with a 20-5 win over 44th District rival Berea Community at home. In the win over Berea Community, it was Aniston Bray with 4 walks and 4 runs scored. Claire Garner was 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs and scored 3 times. And Avery Tuttle was 2 for 2 with 6 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And for Berea in that game was Mackenzie Howell, 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Lady Patriots are now 4-8 on the season. They'll be back in action Monday at home against Danville. And Berea Community had 2 games last week as well. In addition to the 20-5 loss to Model on Thursday, they also were handed a 9-0 loss at Pikeville on Friday. In the loss to Pikeville, Mackenzie Howe and Tessa Elan had the only hits. Berea is now 1-3 on the season. They'll be back in action Monday at home against West Jessamine. Moving on to high school tennis, we had a bunch of results this week, a bunch of matches all over the place. We did have one all-county matchup on Thursday at EKU. It was Model's girls taking on Madison Southern's girls, and it was Model picking up the 4-1 win. Model won both of the doubles matches. And in the singles action, it was Model's Serena Florell and Maya Bondari picking up wins, and Madison Southern's Mallory Dewerson picking up wins as well. There's tons of tennis results on our website. If you go to richmondregister.com and go check those out. We've been getting pretty good reports from all the coaches on all the matches. So too many to get to here, but if you want to go check those out, that's the best place to do it. High school track news. The Eastern Relays were this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, up in Louisville, and Madison Central's Kiera O'Shea dominated the field in the 3200, and Madison Central's Wyatt Stewart also dominated the field in the pole vault. Wyatt going 16.5 1/4, and Kiera won by about 5 seconds as well. So easy wins against some of the best competition, not only from Kentucky but Indiana as well. So no surprise that those two young folks continue to rack up the victories. But also there, Brady Masters was third in the 3200. We have full results at richmondregister.com if you want to go check those out. And of course, there is an all-comers track meet Monday night over at Madison Central. The Madison Southern track team was at the Lake Cumberland Classic on Saturday. A couple of good results there. Nadia Meeks took first place in the 100-meter hurdles. Kaylee Mobberly was first in the high jump, and Stephen Perkins was first in the long jump and second in the triple jump. And full results from that match can also be found at richmondregister.com. Good weekend for EKU sports. EKU baseball and softball sweeping 3-game conference series. We'll start off with the EKU baseball team. They moved back into a tie for first place by sweeping North Alabama here in Richmond. On Friday, it was 10-6. Then 15-7 on Saturday and 15-8 on Sunday. 26-13 for the Colonels, 12-6 in the ASUN, 5 straight wins. They'll be back in action Tuesday against old rival Morehead State here at Turkey Hughes Field in Richmond. And the EKU softball team swept a 3-game series from last place Bellarmine over the weekend in Louisville, 10-3 and 11-3 on Saturday and 9-4 on Sunday. Colonels are 10-32 on the season, 6-12 in the ASUN as they battle to try to get into the ASUN tournament. They will be back in action Wednesday at home against Miami. Well, that's all we got for you for the recap of this week. It's a lot of stuff. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I'm guilty of that sometimes, but I want to try to make sure we get all this stuff in here and highlight all the accomplishments of these amazing young folks we have here in the county. So stick with us. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to have Vince Stover.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Welcome back. We are joined by a man of many talents and many titles, Mr. Vince Stover. You're a broadcaster, podcaster, coach, dad, pastor. You were kind of the do-it-all guy, but thanks for coming in here.
Hey,
Vince.
Thanks for having me on. Excited. Love to talk about all those things. So.
Well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. You are the host of the Sports Stove podcast, which it's kind of started off being a EKU thing, but you've really kind of gone exclusively with EKU here, and it's been about a year since you started that, right?
Yeah, last football season, getting into it. Like you said, covering both Kentucky and EKU. And EKU just gave us the door to open, to go and cover them. And Kentucky was not as kind. And with being down here in Madison County, it just made sense to focus in on it. We've absolutely loved. The university's been phenomenal covering the program, and we got an opportunity to talk with players and coaches. We've had Matt Rohn on before too, and just the university's been so open to us covering them sports-wise, and it's been awesome.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I didn't know you before you started coming around and doing this. And when I saw on Twitter and stuff where people started retweeting your show, and I kept thinking, what the heck is the Sports Stove podcast? Not knowing your last name was Stover.
Yes.
So at first I was like, what the heck is this? So I have to admit, I felt kind of silly once I realized your name was Stover.
It makes
sense when you know your name.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you come up with it, you're like, oh, this is great. Play off of my name and all that kind of stuff. But no one does know what it means. So the logo has changed multiple times. We finally got it set. But it's a play off of my last name, Stover.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense now that you know that.
Yeah.
But like I said, we want to talk to you about a bunch of different things. Not only that, but we'll start with that. But your podcast, you do one a week, and it's available. I listen to it on Spotify, but where else is it available?
It's anywhere you get podcasts. So we actually have 3 episodes a week.
Okay.
1 episode a week is on EKU. We call it the Local Hour. That's our Wednesday episode. But yeah, it's anywhere you get your podcasts. We're also on Belly Up TV, which is on Roku, or Tiki Live app on streaming televisions too, and Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But the Local Hour is every Wednesday. We have players, coaches, anything to do with university sports come on, and we spend the whole episode just on that.
Yeah, that's the only one I ever listened to. What are the others that you focus on?
Just professional and college sports. My dad joins me for those episodes, and it's just like the old days sitting in the car talking sports with Dad. That's what we're doing on the show as well, and a lot of NFL and Major League Baseball coverage, and then college football as well. But we don't talk a whole lot of NBA and some college basketball, of course, too. So
yeah, we have a lot of fun with. You get a lot of players on from EKU, and you have a lot of fun with them. And I think. Don't you pretty much ask everybody that comes on what their favorite ice cream is?
Yeah, I like to.
Is it your favorite question?
I'll have to figure out some new questions for next season for the repeat guests. But yeah, I try to let people get to know a little bit outside of the athletic side of it. So we ask them movies, favorite movie, favorite sport, or favorite ice cream flavor, food. If they could have a dinner with one person, who would it be? And those kinds of things, just to kind of break the ice a little bit, and again, kind of get them outside. Because once you're talking to them about the program, sometimes they have a kind of cliche answers, and they're kind of trying to stick with the script that the university wants or the coaches want. Once you start getting into more outside the box stuff, they open up. You see their personality a little bit more.
Yeah. Any weird ice cream flavors?
Not a lot of vanillas and strawberries.
Oh, okay.
I'm always surprised when someone says vanilla. That's like, I like vanilla when you put stuff on top of it.
Yeah, especially chocolate.
Yeah.
And you've had a lot of. You've had Matthew Jackson, the linebacker of the football team, like 3 times, right?
Yeah, Matt's been on. I think it's 3, maybe 4. He won Defensive Player of the Year from our podcast, and so we had him on a time for that, and then we had him on recently to talk about the upcoming season. Because for a while there, we didn't know if he was going to come back.
Yeah,
he said he was in transfer portal. And thankfully, he's coming back. I'm excited about what he can bring to the team this year.
Yeah, it was funny. We were at a basketball game, and you were like, I just interviewed the guy, and then like 2 days later, he says he's going in the portal, and then he came back, and that's kind of the landscape of college sports.
It is. Yeah, he didn't say anything about it when I was talking to him the week of, and then all of a sudden it comes out. Yeah, I was really surprised by it, but his personality continues to grow. Got to talk with him the other day at practice. I had my son with me, so got to introduce him to my kid and everything. And he's just a super nice guy and fun to have on interview.
Yeah. You've been doing this for about a year now. Seems like you're having fun with it. I know we sit next to each other down at Alumni Coliseum during the basketball games.
Yeah.
We kind of cut up and talk and everything. So you having fun with it?
A blast. And, a year in, I've learned a lot, what not to ask, what to ask, where the boundaries are, on what you're allowed to talk about, and those kinds of things. But again, the university's made it so easy. They're so kind, and they're always so appreciative of the coverage. And I try to tell them, I appreciate them more than they appreciate me. But it's a blast. Again, part of the reason why I was covering EKU was to just learn the community as well. Relatively new to the community in 2020, so just trying to get involved in the community more, and it was a great way to kind of mix just something I like to do as a hobby with getting to know the community too. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I'm glad you're out there doing it because basically it's me and then the kids from the Eastern Progress and you. That's usually about the only people that are at EKU games. It's kind of our little work family.
That's right.
Especially at McBrayer, we all kind of sit to the table together and have a good time. But it's great, a great outlet for those kids to kind of talk to you, and then they can kind of get a little free. I know it's funny you were telling me about Alice Recanati, the girls basketball player, and you had to send her the questions because it doesn't speak English very well, being Italian.
Yeah.
And so that had to be kind of difficult. So you can do most of these through Zoom, I guess?
Yeah, so I use a program called StreamYard, but yeah, it's just like Zoom for the most part. And Alice, she did great too. I don't know why she was so nervous, but she gets nervous about speaking English, answering questions and things. So they asked, hey, would it be okay? They said, if you can, it's fine, but would it be okay if you send some questions ahead? So we were able to do that, and she did a phenomenal job. And but yeah, it's been neat because now as I get to know the athletes, they'll start asking me questions about podcasting and things like that. There's opportunities for them to make some money and things like that, and get out there and get their brand out there. And so it's nice to be able to kind of give back to them a little bit and try to help them, give them some tips for things they can do to get their own stuff. So I think you'll start seeing some EKU athletes with some shows here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, social media influencers probably the best way. A lot of these kids are going to use their NIL availability because you're not going to get a car dealership or anything probably to give you a lot of money or anything like that. So that's probably a better thing. So.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them.
Okay. Also, I wanted to talk to you more, and it's because it's something I really don't know that much about. But Wellsprings Guardians. Yeah. I mean, it's something that's I'm not really sure how long it's been around, but you guys do have several high school sports, basketball in particular. Yeah. And the basketball teams have had success. You've beaten Berea and Model over the past couple of years, and I know you were an assistant coach over there. Are you still an assistant, or did you become the head coach?
I'm a head coach varsity and JV boys.
Okay.
So this will be year 7 for the program.
Okay.
Basketball is the only sport we have right now, but it's 10 years old all the way through seniors in high school. So we try to start them young and get them in the program. They get to play together for many years. They get to play in the system. We have a different coach for the younger teams, but we work with the high school teams as well and try to implement some of the same things so they can start to learn the system and things like that. And kind of a feeder program to some degree. They're moving on up. It's a homeschool group. So we play public schools, Christian schools, other homeschool teams. We're in a homeschool conference. And we've had some really good success over the years. We lost on our team, our boys varsity team, we lost 5 seniors from this past season. So this season it's going to be a whole new group of guys pretty much that are playing. And but they're ready for it, man. They're excited. Everybody's ready to step up, be the next man up kind of mentality, and step into it. And it's great for the kids because there's a lot of different stereotypes of homeschoolers, but they're great kids. They have a great education. They're hard workers, and it gives them an outlet then to use the talent that they have. And we do development with them as well. But we are a Christian homeschool group, so a lot of our program is developing character or building off what the parents are already doing. Build that character. We're trying to do better at that as well, but we're always trying to win too. So we love to play the public schools in the area. We're still working on our schedule for next season, but we're going to play several public schools again, and it's fun. It's fun to go in and break some of those stereotypes sometimes, because it's been said during games here against local high schools, oh, they're just homeschoolers. You're losing to homeschoolers. Well, okay, yeah, you are. So we like that. We like to go in with that underdog mentality.
Yeah, that's based here in Richmond, but can surrounding counties or anybody
definitely
get involved? Or?
Yes, we got kids, a couple from Estill County and around. We had 2 kids from Harrodsburg last year that were on the team. A couple kids from up north of Lexington a little ways too. Some Lexington kids come in too. So it's open to anyone. WellspringHomeschool.com is the website, and there's an email there that you can click and get information on. But we're always looking to add kids. And there's more homeschoolers today than there have been in a long time. And it's a growing field. And I think we're the elite homeschool program in Madison County. It'd be crazy to say otherwise, but I'm very definitely leaning one-sided there. But I think we're a great program. We provide a great opportunity. We work hard, play hard, have a good time, and we win a lot of games.
Yeah, and you see this up in Lexington. Bluegrass United is a homeschool team
Yep.
up there.
Yep.
And so where do you guys? And I've seen you guys play at Model in Berea. Do you have home games at a church or somewhere?
Yeah,
or?
we play at United Methodist up here on Main Street.
Okay.
First United Methodist. Sorry, FUMC. I had to think through the things. That's our home court. That's where we practice and play all our home games. And then we travel. We go as far as Louisville for some games. We got tournaments, and then we'll go up to Columbus actually this year again, and some teams that we play every other year, home and aways kind of things. So we travel a little bit, but a lot of local stuff.
Yeah, and what's the conference you guys are in, the homeschool conference?
It's I believe it's the Ohio Valley Homeschool Conference.
Okay.
So we'll play in Midway sometimes for the tournaments. We play a lot of teams, Louisville, all over the place that come kind of centrally located for the tournaments and things like that. And we'll play an end of the year tournament, homeschool tournament, regional tournament over in, sometimes it's in Indiana, sometimes it's in Louisville, over in those ways.
Okay, and you also dabble a little bit in broadcasting as well, so tell us about, that's based out of Nicholasville, I guess, right?
Yeah, so I've been doing high school football and basketball on the radio, helping out in Jessamine County for the last couple of years. This year I'll still do football. I'm not going to be doing basketball because I'm coaching basketball and need the time, but still do that. I absolutely love it. I actually do broadcast for, this is new, we were just talking about this before we came on air, but Northern Louisiana Football Association, so it's a semi-pro league, and I get to sit in my house and watch TV and call a game, so I do play-by-play for that as well. So I like, sports has just kind of been what I grew up with. Me and Dad, that's what we really bonded over growing up, and so we talk sports all the time, fantasy sports, everything. It's just Madden, growing up, those kinds of things. I would broadcast my Madden games while I was playing. So it's just been something that I've always liked, and it's been an opportunity for me, again, just to get involved, meeting people, getting out there, especially being relatively new to the area. Gave a great opportunity, and I absolutely love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and a pastor at Bible Pathway Baptist here in Richmond. I guess when you came to Richmond, is that 2020, is that when you came on there?
So we started the church in 2014, originally in Lexington.
Okay.
But an opportunity arose for us to buy a church building and property down here in Richmond. And so our church unanimously voted to move to Richmond in 2020. And so middle of the COVID stuff, but it was a great opportunity for us. So we're on Three Forks Road near Red House on the north side of town, and it's been great. We've absolutely loved Richmond. The church is about doubled in size since we moved to Richmond, and it's been a fun opportunity. And it's just Richmond and Lexington are so different in how people react and respond and things like that, and it's just more of a small town feel, I guess. And fits our family atmosphere there at the church, and we've absolutely loved my family, our church, everybody. We just absolutely love Richmond.
Yeah, give a shout out to your wife and your kids there.
Katie, my wife, Katie, she's puts up with a lot. I got 2 boys; they're 14 and 11, as well, Brett and Camden, and they're fun, man. they're full of mischief, but they're fun.
I guess your day job, I guess, is pest control. Is that what you do?
Yeah, so I do pest control. I'm part-time at pest control, IPM Pest and Termite, and we service the area here as well. And then I'm part-time at the church as well. As the church continues to grow, we'll move away from pest control and stick with pastoring and the sports stuff on the side. So yeah, stay relatively busy, but most of it I enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy sitting next to you at McBrayer.
It's fun. We have good conversations.
Yeah, we usually do, and we kind of we'll comment to each other about this or that or the other, or what's happening there or what's that, and we're always digging through, looking at stats and all kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll be back at the Kid relatively soon as well.
Yeah. You usually go up in the press box.
They give me food.
You climb all the way up there. I don't know why you go up there.
They give me food, so that's why I go up there.
I'm 48 years old, and it's like you have to climb up like 6 flights of steps that are like that to get up there, and I haven't gone up there in a long time. It's just
the first time
to sit down.
First time I went, I came in a suit.
Oh God!
It was
you were covered in
late
sweat
August,
by the time you got there.
And I got there and I said, "Hey, how do I get up there?" And the guy said, "Here, I'll give you a ride." Put me on a golf cart. Took me as far as he could on a golf cart, and he says, "Good luck." He said, "You're gonna want to take that jacket off." He was right.
And you probably still had the sweat pits after.
Yep. So I started to dress differently after that.
Yeah, I was hoping when they put the news side in, there'd be a new press box up there.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, eventually that will come along. But
we'll start pushing that with the guys there.
we don't have any pull over there whatsoever. But no, I appreciate you coming by, and like I said, go check it out, Sports Stove Podcast. Like I said, I listen to it on Spotify, but it's available everywhere. Check it out. I don't listen to every episode, to be honest with you, but I do listen quite a bit. I told you before, I'm not a big podcast guy. The format itself is I'm just not a big fan of the format. So I like music. If I have headphones on, it's usually gonna.
I'll start playing music in the background so you can.
Well, you can't do that because then you're going to get hit up for the copyright.
That's right.
And Randy will tell you about the copyright infringement. You play
have it.
more than like 10 seconds of a copyrighted song, and they'll cut you off or send you a bill probably like that. So, but no, it's great to have you around.
Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate it.
It's like I said, you kind of give a different angle on things, and I like how kind of lighthearted it is, and as well. So everything is so serious these days. So,
I try to be fair. I try to call things out when they need to be called out, but obviously they're being nice to me, so I try to be positive for them as well.
It's just good to get to hear from the kids themselves. But post-COVID, we really haven't had that kind of access. I know that you do have to do it via Zoom or remote for most of the time. But it used to be a different world. 5 or 6 years ago, we'd just run out to practice and you can grab anybody you wanted to. But now it's a lot different world. But that's okay. It's just how it works.
Yeah.
There you go. But it's good to show kind of the personal side of those kids because it's like we talked about the girls basketball. They the whole season they hardly ever brought any girls to the press conferences, and so we're kind of like, hey, we like to get to know these kids a little bit. And like I said, they brought Alice out one time, and she was real shy and timid and didn't want to talk and all the things like that. So all right, well, appreciate you coming in. And
thank you.
I guess I miss you on Wednesdays though. When we have basketball games on Wednesdays, and you can't be there because
something about church. It just doesn't fit.
Which luckily we don't have. It's usually a Thursday Saturday league, so we usually don't have too many games
Not
on
too
Wednesday.
bad.
But I know on Wednesday there's going to be an empty seat next to me because Vince is not going to be there. So, but check out his podcast. It really is a lot of fun. And if you want to get to know the EKU players a little bit better, that's probably the best way to get a little insight and get a little more knowledge about those guys. So thanks for coming in. And as always, that'll wrap up this week of edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. We'll be back next Sunday night. As always, the best place to keep up with Madison County sports is Richmond R Sports on Twitter or Register Sports on Facebook. Have a great week. See you next time.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.
This is Richmond.
This is Berea.
This is Waco.
This is Kirksville.
This is Doylesville.
This is Boonesboro.
And this is Bybee.
This is Valley View.
This is Baldwin.
This is Union City.
All of this is Madison County.
You know us as covering your news and sports.
And now, we're more.
We're your news
and sports authority.
The Richmond Register since 1917.
Download our news app and get news anytime, any hour.
Subscribe now to get your local news in your mailbox or electronically anywhere.
The Richmond Register, your news and sports authority.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
We're more than words.
Yeah, we cover that.
Yeah, we cover that.
Yeah, we cover that.
Download the Richmond Register News app on your favorite device or sign up and subscribe online at richmondregister.com.